It's been a Mapaseka Koetle and welcome to Mommy Diaries. It's 2024. I can still say Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Happy 2024. This episode is brought to you by Nestle. Kasheko, we're going to talk about back to school. We know the stress of back to school, back to work. When we were young, we used to sing back to school, back to reality. We are back. And today I'm joined by Liteboho Molise and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a marketing manager for Nestle. Liteboho Molise, she's an actress, a mom, my friend, and everything. Welcome, ladies. How are you guys doing? And I want the truth, because most of the time when we ask questions, how are you doing? We always say, I'm fine. Are we really fine? Are we happy? How are you doing?
Well, I suppose you can never be really fine.
Absolutely.
In Bahe, we are grateful for life.
Yeah.
As long as you have life, only the basic needs, feeding your family, and just happy, appreciative of life.
Absolutely.
That's how I live.
Yeah. Elizabeth?
I also live the same way. Maybe it's been a fast start to the beginning of the year. So I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful that I have for work, and I'm grateful for the kids I have.
Yeah.
Getting the opportunity to see them grow.
Exactly.
Yes. And talking about kids, motherhood is not easy. Whether you are doing it singly or not single, it's not easy. How are you finding motherhood?
I love motherhood. I don't want to lie. I feel like that is the best thing that I did for myself. I don't know if I did it myself, but it's the best part of my life, really. And I've always been, you know me, I've always been a homebody. I'm a couch potato. I've always I'm either at work or at home or with family or with friends. But even if I'm with friends, so I feel like my children added an element to my home life. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm living for something bigger than myself. So my children are just everything to me. I enjoy it. I love watching them grow. The girl is a chatterbox like you. My daughter talks for days.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I had a remote control to
Just
just
to
turn it up,
a bit.
down. I want to control how much she talks, but other than that, I'm happy.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, how are you finding motherhood?
Motherhood is amazing. As you say, this thing doesn't come with a manual. You learn as they go. And it's really interesting that what you say, you learn a lot from the kids and they add value to your life. I mean, when you think about parenting nowadays, it's really evolved. Initially, parenting was all about a mother having a singular identity. All you are is a mother, all of one. But now anyone can be a parent who having a bad desire to bring his children. To be happy and to see them grow and thrive in life. That's what parenthood is about.
Now, going back to the topic, back to school, Liteboho, where are you with that? How did you prepare? How did you prepare yourself? Because sometimes back to school is not just about preparing for one. It's also preparing for yourself as well. For maybe like some people, you have to manage whether you have anxiety issues or not, because I know I have issues with anxiety. So most of the time, I want to prepare ahead but you're never well prepared with back to school.
I guess so. I mean, with me, I did things a little differently this year because usually I just wing it, I just wing it out. I don't have a plan. Happy. I feel like as long as the child is not switching from one school to the next, then there's not much planning. And also, in my daughter's school, they have this thing where they kind of force you to prepare everything around October of the previous year. They're already making you commit to whether the child is coming back the next year. They're making you fill in forms. What's your plan? How are you going to pay next year's school fees? In October, they've already made you sign all of that and commit to all of that. So I feel like it's annoying. At the time, but it helps.
It does.
It helps later in January because it's a bit more relaxed. So one thing that surprised me this year, and I think this was also my own carelessness, they send, how they send messages to the WhatsApp groups and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they've always included the stationery as part of the school fees for the next year. So this year they did things differently. What they did, they gave us a stationery list and they recommended a stationery shop where to buy the stuff, which means it was not going to be part of the January school fees. So I'm used to that. She's been in the same school for like 5 years now.
Yes.
So I've never had to go out and buy stationery. I get it because
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So I see this message sometime last year from October. I see this link that they keep sending, oh no, stationery, what, but I just scroll past. I scroll past because it has nothing to do with me,
you,
right?
yeah.
And then that January, I'm like, no, man, I don't think I've ever seen your stationery list. Just, just by the way, not because I thought I needed it. And they've been sending this link. Let me just go and check what this link is about. I opened the link.
Yo.
I found that I was supposed to have bought stationery.
Clever.
Hey, imagine the stress. Now I have to. The money's gone. Now I need to go and start searching and finding the stationery shop. I survived. I got the list. I'm here. We made it.
Yes, and for you, Elizabeth, like programs like this for Nestle, why are they so important just to help us, especially parents, to navigate the whole stress of, like what she's saying. It might look like it's not a serious thing, but it's like, oh, I forgot one, and it makes you feel like, hey, are you the good mother? Yeah, because other mothers are more prepared than you. So how are these programs like this important to Nestle?
For Nestle, as you clearly say, I mean, you already always know what's going to happen. In the school sends you the list and everything, but also majority of our parents are planning for their children. So that's what their children want to be. And nowadays, children are so inquisitive. Their hobbies now are becoming careers. So it's beyond the stationery, it's beyond the textbooks. So they're thinking wider. I want to join the cricket team, I want to join the hockey team. So it's really necessary that parents sit together with their children and come up with a list. And that's what the Nestle Back to School campaign is all about. Your wish list campaign. What is your wish for your child? We are also very cognizant that we are in very difficult financial situations. So we will get majority of the parents are focusing on the bare essential that the children need. But your children have dreams, they have desires. They want to join the rugby team. They want to join the football team. How do you support those? They want to be artists. And buying a canvas, I just came from buying school stationery for art. A stretched canvas is actually very expensive.
It is, yeah.
So you have to support us, Nestle. What is your back to school mission for your child? So it's careers are beyond being doctors and lawyers. They're becoming now even careers. They're becoming creatives. They're becoming artists. How do we support that? We just want parents to do write your wish list and send it to Nestle. Back to schoolwishlist.com, and your wish might be granted for you and your child.
Lovely.
That's a parent's joy to see your child thriving, even doing better. I want my children to do better than me.
And I like how you put it, because for me, back to school for me is just that. It used to be just going to get materials, the basics of like your stationery and whatnot. And after like we spoke about the wish list, I know Nema would come from school, Mommy, I want to do ballet, Mommy, but we never really sat down and spoke about what is it that you want to do this year. So when I did the back to school video on my Instagram, I asked her, so what do you want to do? Any new skills you want to learn this year? She's like, I want to learn how to play piano. And she went for her first lesson last week. So the wish list actually helped for me personally. And it's not that I'm not campaigning or anything. It really helped me because we sat down. Because sometimes these kids are human beings. I've never thought about asking. I always wait for her to tell me, or the teachers would be like, I think Nema is good at her posture. She's good at 1, 2, 3. But I never really sat down because sometimes you forget these people are human beings and they have
things that they love.
Parenting now is not about giving direction. It's having those intimate conversations with their children. What do you want to be?
What do you want to be? Have you had those conversations? I was close.
I have them all the time. My daughter kind of forces me into them, actually. She is very expressive. She will tell you exactly how she feels. She'll tell you what she wants. When it comes to those career stuff, then she has a new interest every quarter. Every quarter she has a new. Yes, as long as it's possible, I allow her. I really, really allow her to just go with whatever she's feeling at the time.
Yes. And then now also with the, because it's not just you, it's the teachers. How do we make sure that we are aligned? It's you, it's her. it's the helper, it's the nanny, and then it's the teacher, because everyone has their own opinion about what they think would be right for the child. Is it communication? I don't know how to navigate that.
I think it's more about communication. Say parenting now is about having that relationship with your child. And that relationship is not just between the parents and the children, but also caregivers, and say there's a nanny at home, the teachers as well. There's a larger society, and there's a lot of information on the internet. How do you make sure that any information that they're getting is good for them and it helps them thrive? So it's about listening, giving them an ear, and also guiding them, because there's a lot out there that they can get into. But then how do you get them back into and support their dreams and desires?
And one of the things that came up when I had a conversation with Nema about the wish list was food. Nutrition, and I struggle with her eating, an example, vegetables. Because then I told her, my wish for you, girl, this year is for you to eat veggies and to, because nutrition is very, very important when it comes to the development of the child and whatnot. So Elizabeth, any pointers on that to help the moms out there? How can Nestle come on board to help us with just talk about the importance of nutrition? Because it's very important to have such conversations as mothers and also to our kids.
So as you well know, nutrition plays a very key role in terms of the development of a child, physically, mentally, socially as well. Cognitive development as well plays a key role. And for children to thrive, they need to have that good nutrition. And we don't think about it, but if somebody has nutrition, then they don't fall sick often. If they're not falling sick often, they're not missing school. They are able to do their extracurricular activities. They're able to thrive as individuals. So it's upon us as parents and caregivers to ensure that our children eat right. However, as you say, it's not that easy. So that's why we have there are so many programs out there, and Nestle has one that's called Nestle for Healthier Kids. Yeah. So this is a program that teaches both parents, caregivers, and children how to eat healthy. And eating healthy doesn't have to be boring, and fun ways of doing it.
Yeah. And how do you find that? Does she eat what she should be eating?
As Elizabeth is talking, I'm thinking, you need to teach me. You need to teach me, because I am struggling. You see, that is the one problem I have with my daughter. She will not eat healthy. She will not eat healthy at all. It doesn't matter what you say. In fact, we had this thing where we would only have takeaways once a week during the weekend, right? Yeah. So what she started doing when she noticed that I'm really putting her into a corner, okay, if you don't eat your veggies throughout the week, then there's no takeaway day. What she would do, she would eat small bits and pieces throughout the week. I promise you, she'll eat small bits throughout the week, and then I'm a weekend, and then she'll binge during the weekend. Wow. She makes sure she would starve herself, basically, putting it simply. Yeah. She does not want to eat anything healthy. She would rather starve.
I also go through the same with my boys. They don't want to eat right. They don't want to eat their spinach. They don't eat vegetables and fruits. You even actually them about freezer really?
Really? They're delicious.
It doesn't make sense. Yes. It's about having that dialogue with their children. So they know on Sundays is a day we eat out. And it's very hard to hear them eat at home on a Sunday. And so that's the negotiation we have, and that's the discussion we have. During the week, we eat healthy. We need to put food and eat mostly at home. Yeah. Then on Sunday, over the weekend, then you can have
whatever you want.
Yes. Pizza, panavio, whatever.
So what do you do when she starves herself the whole week and waits for Sunday?
That one is dangerous. That one is very dangerous. But also, besides the food and everything, what I'm taking out of this conversation is just that communication with, our kids, communication with the teachers, and just paying attention, because kids are also different. And now you have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about. I don't know. I have one child. So for me, it's I don't share my attention with the other one, and I don't need to. So for you, how is it being a mother to 2? And are you also, because he's also coming, are you also ready for now the stress of 2 wish lists? Or is there a 1 wish list?
I think, God works in mysterious ways. I think as you are preparing to have the second child, somehow even your whole being just knows that you're making space for a new member of the family. You feel it coming that, okay, it's not, and I don't know if it's really dividing your attention. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you have more love to give. It doesn't feel like a division. It feels like a multiplication. Something has been added onto what you already have. And at the beginning, obviously, my daughter has been an only child for like
For long, yeah.
a few years now, 7-8 years. And she was struggling a bit. If she saw me holding the baby for too long, she'd be like, oh, my mommy doesn't even care about me anymore, whatever. Fela Honaje, she even calls him her son. She loves him so much. They have an amazing bond. Every time she walks into the room, my son's face lights up. It's just beautiful. I'm the happiest I haven't been in a long, long time. So it doesn't feel like I have to share my attention. It just feels like, okay, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. The love, there's more love to give. There's more love to receive.
Yeah, no, let's talk about like someone watching out there, they don't know, like maybe they have 4 or 5 kids, the budget is not budgeting, but they do wanna, have this wish list. Like you were saying, it's not just about going out there and buying something. What advice would you give to someone watching and they're still stressing about, because back to school is not only for January. Some people still have to prepare until March throughout the year, and some people are still also trying to find the right school for their kids. It's not like everyone they have the means to be prepared than others. Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who's like, the budget is not budgeting, and they never really had conversations with their kids about the plans, because kids are different. We come from different backgrounds. Some go to private schools, some go to public schools, so which means the lists are different.
Yeah, and true, yeah, the lists are different. As I said, I have 2 boys, so one is more of a science person and the other one is more into art. So you have to have 2 wishes. But as you say, the economic times are really stressing us now, and you're saying it's not just about January, it's for the full year. You start your child on an activity at the beginning of the year. You have to see to the end. I was reading the school list, extracurricular activities, and they said, if you start your child either on drumming or coding, it has to be for the full year. It's a full year program.
It is.
So I know the other things that come into play, you have many children. So how Nestle support is like, parents, take care of all the essentials. Tell us what's your dream for your child, and let them be creative and explore. There was this story that was trending the other day of a young man in South Africa who's drawn a very amazing big painting of one of the Springbok members using lipstick. Who would think you can draw and you can be an artist using lipstick? But that was was available to him. He did have the paint brushes and the colors, and that painting has gone viral. It's been noticed by people in the US. So allow your kids to explore. Don't squash their kids because maybe there are limitations and financial limitations. Let them explore many ways of achieving their goals. And Nestle is there to help. Send us your back to school wishes, and it just might be granted.
And let's talk about also the importance of the extra, like you're saying, the extra curricular activities, because that's, for some of us, the school that I went to, it was a public school, and there were no lots of extra mural activities that one could do. It was just like majorettes, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there was drama. But my love for drama started there. It was not even a subject at school. So I think sometimes parents don't understand that if your child is like, they want to play soccer, like support them, because that might be their career. And that's what happened to me as well, because for me it was just like, we're doing skits. After school, doing skits, but my mom supported me and she came to watch me when I'm doing those skits, and then she realized, actually, she is good at this thing, and let me let her one day go to Joburg and study. What extra activities does Kosi do?
Kosi loves dancing. They call it review in her school, so it includes, it's like performance, art, it's drama, dancing and singing. So that's what she does. That's what she loves. That's what she's always done. But she does get confused sometimes. You find that her best friend is doing soccer, her other best friend is doing something else, and then somewhere in the middle of the year, she was like, "Mommy, I think I'm gonna join soccer now because Tofat is doing soccer." And then, luckily for them, I don't know if it's because they're still young, but they do allow them to join anytime they want. And then she'll join soccer for 2 weeks, and I remember after that whole soccer drama, she was like, "Mommy, they were dribbling."
On the floor.
Who knows how to dribble? I can't dribble.
Yeah.
And then that was the last time she went to soccer. She's like, "I'm not dribbling a ball. I will never dribble a ball. There's no need for me." So she left it.
But as a parent, do you think, how do you now start to realize, oh, more she's playing, more she's serious? Because sometimes they would come every week because someone is doing something. So how do you communicate to a child that, don't just do what your friend is doing, do what you love?
You can communicate. However, there's also the peer pressure. Yeah, it's for this is the aim thing, but you'll notice very quickly commitment. That's a commitment to be there. They will do it for a few days or 1 week or two, and they will stop it. And the other thing that encourages parents and caregivers and teachers also, kids are getting into, they want to have new hobbies.
Yes.
That's just what is happening.
Yes.
It's not correct. But they have hobbies. If you think about it, some of the apps that have been developed now came out of a hobby.
Yeah.
And how they become something that's building careers and enabling people and income. So encourage those hobbies that you see they're really keen on. The ones that it's peer pressure, I think I should say.
Yes,
It will fade off. Yes,
Don't let go of it.
yes.
No.
Yeah.
So just lastly, let's talk about take us through the wish list. What should one do? What website should they go to? And what must they look out for?
So first, as we've talked about, just have that conversation with your children and say, what is your wish list? Imagine if there were no limitations, terms financially or otherwise, what would you want as your back to school wish list for your children, and what would they want for themselves? Then write it down, then send it to us. Just go to www.Nestle wishlist back to school wishlist.com, and your wish might be granted.
Yeah. Any last words, Liteboho? When I don't go to www.wishlist, we know we are here.
No. I really would like to encourage parents to, like Elizabeth has already said, let's just have more conversations with our kids. You will be surprised at the kind of things that you will learn just from talking to your kids every day, just sitting down with them and saying, "Hey, then what did you do today?" It's not even about being formal about it. What did you do? I figured I actually pick up more stuff from just asking for the events of the day than actually saying, "How was your day?" And then it's really...
It's not sitting down, it's not a meeting.
It's a meeting.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, and then you walked out of class, and then wabona. Those little bits and pieces of information, they actually teach you a lot about your child. Just have a conversation with them. I feel like it works best.
Did you find it hard? Because I don't know how you were brought up, but for me, communication was never a thing. I don't remember as a young girl in high school sitting down and having a conversation with my mom. But now times are different, where our parenting style, like you said, has evolved. It's different than. So did you struggle with understanding that it's important to communicate with the kids, that no matter how small or little we think they are?
Never. My parents, I always say my parents are probably the biggest blessing also in my life, because my parents loved to talk to me. They would sit me down and talk to me like wabana, what we are calling the current parenting style. My parents did it then. They would talk to me, and somehow it's like they knew that I could hear them, because I still remember those conversations until now. I still remember the birds and the bees conversation that my dad gave me. I still remember when I told my mom about my first boyfriend, and she was
Your
actually...
first boyfriend?
Yeah, she was...
my mom would kill me. First boyfriend. Even now, there's certain things I'm still scared to talk to her about.
My mom asked me.
Really?
And then, okay, so that way I feel like she got to monitor the direction.
Got you in your
And my thinking, she she got to drive my sense of thought and what I knew that I was allowed to do and what I knew that I was not allowed to do. So those conversations really helped the direction in which I kind of took.
Yes. And you, did you sit?
My upbringing was more like yours.
Can you imagine?
None of that.
Do as you say. You don't ask questions.
Can you imagine?
Honestly, I did struggle initially with, now kids are very inquisitive. You tell somebody, go wash the dishes, why?
Why?
Oh, I would not dare ask my parents.
Yes.
You do as you do.
You do, yeah.
But also you find that those questions, with the current reality, it's very important that they ask those questions.
Yeah.
We don't want people telling them to do things that they don't understand why they're doing them.
Yeah.
So now they want to understand, why am I being asked to do this?
Yeah.
That being inquisitive has led to the many of the careers and talents that we see nowadays. Who would think comedy would be a career? If I told my dad I want to be a comedian, she'd think
He would laugh at you. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is happening
Yeah.
now in the world?
Yes.
I'm about having this
Absolutely.
conversation. So for me, it was a shock, but I'm learning. You learning, answer the questions, and not to tire. True. Keep asking them.
Yes. Any last words?
How?
Encouragement to the mothers out there? Someone who's expecting a child or someone who's the child has started school. Any words of encouragement, Mzalwane?
No, no, I think my words of encouragement stick. I really would encourage parents to have more conversations with their kids. Like I said, I feel like that is the way to go, especially with our current state of the world and everything that's going on around us. You get to know your child more if you talk to them more.
Elizabeth, any closing words?
Closing remarks would be dare to dream. Yeah, we don't want. There's so many dreams out there that are just don't become a reality because we're not bold enough. But be bold, dare to dream, and anything can happen. The sky is not the limit.
Definitely be bold, communicate with your kids, and yeah, the sky is not
The limit.
the limit. There you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in.